Yo, buddy. So this is the Kaslo Daypack Tech by Herschel. It's probably the best travel bag I've ever used. It's very few things. It's just got very few things that I don't like. Really thoughtful design that you would probably love. On the outside, you could just tell the dimensions are pretty small, which is great for fitting under a airplane seat. It also fits, like if you tuck this under your knees while you're sitting and you want to give yourself more legroom, if you were like kind of sitting up here, it's just short enough that you could tuck your knees over it and it wouldn't kind of like bother you, and it would just sit there and give you all your leg space back. So I just think like the dimensions of this are really smart, and everything is just like really flat as opposed to most backpacks, which like have these like sections and pockets that like jut out and just are weirdly shaped. The only annoying thing is if you do put in a water bottle, get a thin and tall one so that it stays more narrow, because I will say that even as narrow as this is, it doesn't fit under every airplane seat if you're on a smaller plane, or if you like sometimes you're taking the aisle seat. Sometimes the aisle seat has like just a less room than the middle and the window for whatever reason under the chairs. So I have just like one of these. It's still a liter because I think that's the right size for me. But yeah, these little pouches are amazing. The mesh on them is super solid. They stretch. They hold their shape. I think they're also like they're so tough. They hide whatever's in them. Like, I don't know. This is just an amazing material. I don't think I'm going to have trouble with this for like a really long time. So really happy about that. One side I usually just put water. The other side I just put snacks. Just like super easy to access. The other kind of like notable things about this, I'll say, are you've got your main compartment, and then you've got like which has a ton of space considering how small it is. I mean, I keep like a rain jacket in here. I keep a fleece in here, and it all fits if you fold it flat. And then I've got like a 16-inch MacBook Pro under here, and it's got like this felt material to keep everything kind of safe. So you notice I don't have a case on my laptop because in here it's safe enough. Like I just don't have to worry about it. It's got this nice material on both sides. This pocket is deep and wide, and there's still plenty of space around it. If I had a bigger laptop, it would probably fit, but well, maybe not. This is probably the biggest you could go. But this is a 16-inch MacBook Pro, dude. Pretty awesome. And it fits just right around the whole thing. It feels like it was just made perfectly for it. And there's enough padding here on the back that I'm not getting sweaty, but you know, it also doesn't like jut into my back in any kind of like weird way. Okay. I had a backpack once. It was a day pack, like a hiking pack from Osprey, and I used to use it to travel all the time. And I loved it because it had this little pouch right here. When you would open it, you just have access to all the things you always need, like your headphones or, you know, a charging cable or whatever things you just open up and need, you know, immediately without having to like dig through everything. And I was like worried that I wouldn't find a bag that had something else like that. And this is actually better somehow. I was like, oh, it's on the other side. Like you know, the one I liked was on this side. This is over here. It's actually better because this sits like just above whatever else you would jam into it. And it makes the laptop accessible while also making the main compartment accessible while also giving you access to this pocket. So I just keep like headphones, you know, like wipes or like any other kind of like travel things. If you have melatonin or CBD oil or whatever, like I use Floyd's. I just keep all that stuff just right here. It's super accessible, immediately available, and it's a pretty deep pocket too, but it's pretty flat. Like it doesn't make everything kind of like jut out. This top pocket I think is great. This is probably where they spent maybe the most time. You've got a large inner pocket here. Let me see if I can fold this back. And then a zippered pocket in front of that, and then everything else is like you've got a pocket here, you got a pocket here, you can't see them, but there's another one here and another one here. So you have like 4 main kind of square pockets for pretty much everything, and it'll fit. Like I keep all my, you know, just emergency stuff, so like ibuprofen, chapstick, sunblock, like, you know, gum, Tums. I keep an iPhone cable, my spoon, when I'm on the road and I'm like not trying to use single-use plastic. My pen, notebooks, all that stuff can fit really nicely in here and maintain like a really flat surface. So I have all this stuff, but it doesn't like jut out and make my bag all weirdly shaped. So power cables I keep in this little pouch. It's all like pretty flat, and it just gets stored right there. And then I've got another kind of like travel outlet that I keep in here. This is probably the widest thing that I have. I've been looking for something a little bit thinner and smaller. This is an older one, so I'll get something newer, I don't know, eventually. But it fits in this kind of like back pocket here that I'm not doing a good job of showing you. I'll have to find a way to do that. And then, you know, a couple other things that I don't know if they're useful. I keep sometimes cash or credit cards in here if I'm not carrying it on me. This top pocket is really nice. It's just one big open pouch. So this is one of the only things that I wish was different. I love the pocket. I just wish the zipper was on the other side. I think I've seen a lot of backpacks like this that are oriented this way. I haven't seen any with the zipper on the other side. The reason I'm saying that is because I'm right-handed. So when I'm walking through TSA, this zipper's on this left, but I'm carrying it with my right shoulder. So what I want to do is swing the bag sideways so I can access it from this side and put like my phone, my wallet, passport, like ready to go, and then pull it back on my back and walk through and put everything away. But instead, it's on this left side. So that's a little awkward, but no big deal. I just work around it, but you know, small, tiny little design thing. I was like, that was like a small opportunity for it to be a little bit better. I love that this color option I think is really, really great. Sometimes if you're like traveling with a backpack, you just look like you're 6 years old. I think this is like a nice bag that's for work and life. Like you could, no, like it's not really noticeable. Like it kind of just blends in, which makes it both professional, or you could just use it for whatever kind of travel day packs. I hate logos on things, so this is about as minimal as you can get. Like there was no, obvious, thing on the front that would cover it, or like the color was just like really subtle. I thought that was probably best. If I could take this off, I probably would. I haven't really tried, but I just think that's pretty classy to be just like subtle about it. The only other thing that I might be worried about is the bottom of this. It's the same material as the top. It seems pretty dang tough. I've been using this for over a year, so I probably travel 100 to 150 days a year, and I probably put 100,000 miles a year on everything that I have. So that means that this bag gets put in front of me on an airplane seat, and then I do the slide under it. And that has, this motion has happened about 1 billion times just this year. And this is looking pretty good, I guess, under here. Like, it's starting to wear a little bit on these corners. So maybe they could have put a different material. I don't know. We'll see how this holds up. Overall, pretty happy, and time will tell. Everything else is pretty quality. It does have this little slot if you want to put this over a roller bag, which I think is a great thing to do if you're traveling long days and you're moving through lots of airports or you're changing terminals. Like, just taking this off and putting it over your handles is really convenient. The only thing I will say is when you do that, the handles come up and these shoulder straps either will sit over it, or if you tuck them back, they'll kind of flare out like wings, and it just kind of looks really weird. It feels like it's gonna get caught on something. I haven't had any problems, but it just feels like a design problem. Like, why wouldn't it figure out how to tuck it in some other way? I don't know. Again, nitpicky kind of feedback about it. These handles on the front are pretty great. These straps are really wide, which is a great thing if you're carrying a heavy laptop and a big water bottle and stuff like that. The wider the straps, the less pressure they're gonna put on your shoulders. These are really comfortable. They've got this mesh breathable stuff, so if you get a little sweaty or something, it's gonna be not that big a deal. It's gonna wick right off. I just think really smart design. I was worried about this when I first put it on. I was like, it feels kind of big. It's heavy. It's flat on my back. I'm gonna get all sweaty, and it really hasn't been a problem. So that's been really nice. I do like that a lot of the stuff, the features here are built in. So you've got these adjustable straps, but it also just has a rubber band that keeps all your stuff together. So your straps aren't flapping around, flying everywhere. You can adjust it, whatever. But I just thought that was so small, but Why doesn't everybody just have this? It's so dumb and easy. So nicely done. And it's got these, like the cross snap here, which I think maybe someone would find useful. I literally never use it. It does look like, I mean, you can slide these up and down. It does look like you can take these off, but I'm lazy and I have not done that. So kudos to them for making this optional. I think that's a great thing to add because I think, some people would want that, but I don't have it. At a minimum, they do allow you to, like this other side of it, I usually just tuck this part in the little rubber band strap. So it stays out of the way, and I literally haven't thought about it ever. It doesn't get in the way, even though it's on there. I'm sure I could just take it off, but cool feature. The only other thing that I thought was it was like they were trying to do something good, but then I didn't love it. It was this little pocket here. The idea was you could put your, like AirPods, or whatever. And what's funny is if you have AirPods, they will fit in this little pouch. But if you're like me and you have AirPods and you realize, oh my gosh, my AirPods are really expensive and I don't want to just like get them all scratched up, and you put them in a case, it doesn't fit in here with the case on. And that's silly. I haven't, so I don't know if I would even use this if I could fit this in here, but most of the time this is either in my pocket, or if it's not, it's in here because it's going to go through security. So I don't miss it. I don't need it. I don't know if that's the only thing that is different about the Tech Daypack or whatever, but I don't know. Throwaway feature for me. Doesn't matter. Could have just been a little bit bigger and maybe would have been useful. I don't know. That's about it, dude. I think there's only, like I said, like one or two nitpicky things. Like if this could be on the other side, if this was a little bit bigger, this little pouch. But that's kind of it, dude. Like this grab handle's really solid. I mean, it's padded, it's thick, it's got all this stitching. Like I'm literally never going to worry about destroying this. The zippers are really strong. Gosh, it's just all around great bag. And here, one other kind of like thing that I don't think is a problem for this bag. It's probably just a problem of backpacks. But when I do like this tuck under the seat motion, these straps just like really love to just jut out. And then I have to like do this dance where I lift the bag up and I have to tuck everything in and make it all nice and tidy, or I like pull it out just a little bit and adjust it. And then it'll sit and everything will be flat and I'm not going to like destroy my straps or whatever. So I don't know if that's a thing that would somehow get resolved. That seems like every backpack problem and not this backpack problem. But you could tell, super nitpicky kind of feedback or criticisms for this bag. I just think the materials are really good. I think the color options are really good. I think the features, like you just remove stuff you don't want. And then there's like little stuff that I think is really, like these details are just really nice. So overall, I think this is like the right size for a bag, because the less space you have, the less stuff you bring, and the less heavy and the less annoying, and the happier you will be if you don't have like 20 billion things. Overall, amazing backpack. I love that it's got two pouches. I love that it's got all these different inserts inside of it. I love that it stays flat. I love that everything is square. I love there's not like some weird bulbous shape that juts out of it. It just feels like well built. Like even these little corners are like super strong. Like this is a lot of use, a lot of abuse so far, and this looks like it did on day one. So really happy with it. High quality, subtle branding. Nicely done.